Watch Dogs Legion. Available March 6, 2020.
Welcome back, everybody. It's day number 1 for E3 2019, and we have seen all sorts of awesomeness thus far here at the Facebook gaming stage. My name is Jump, and I'm joined, of course, yet again by Andrea Renee, my co-host for the week, and Joel Burgess, World Director of Ubisoft Toronto. Hey. Sir, you had a delightful reveal with Watch Dogs Legion. How you feeling?
I mean, I think I speak for myself and the team, where like the ability to like just share everybody this crazy vision, the fact that we're actually landing it, like our hearts are just so full in this moment right now. We're over the moon. We're ecstatic.
That's so awesome, because I know you guys had a little snafu with a leak, and then the cheeky tweet that came out afterwards, God save the NPCs. I love that approach. Always so good to see some stuff from Ubisoft. Just such a prolific publisher. What's it been like getting to work with them?
I mean, the great thing about Ubi is that there's a real earnest commitment to supporting creatives and making sure that we have all the resources and all the support that we need to chase our crazy visions. And Watch Dogs Legion is that, right? It's the fruition of a crazy vision, shoot for the moon, and we're landing it. So I'm just really appreciative to be part of such a remarkable company with such a diverse group of developers and a diverse group of games.
Well, we just got an opportunity to watch the trailer, though if anybody might not have caught the Ubisoft conference and doesn't really know much about Watch Dogs Legion, why don't you break it down for us?
Sure, yeah. Watch Dogs Legion takes place in London in the near future. It's a London that is in a deep social crisis. We've seen the rise of an authoritarian regime that is dividing people and pushing them apart. People are scared. It's a time of change. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen in their lives. And in the midst of this, you need to build a popular resistance movement to take people from different walks of life to come together despite their differences and differences in their background to work together. There's no one hero that can save London. We have to do it all together. And so in the name of that, we built the system where you can recruit and play as literally anybody that you see in the open world to really let you choose who is DedSec and who is going to unfuck London.
When I first heard this concept, I'm not going to lie, I was skeptical. I was like, how is this going to work? I mean, because I've played Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2. There's a lot of NPCs in the world.
Yeah.
So when I finally got to see it in action at the showcase on Monday, I was pretty impressed. Let's just say Helen is the MVP of that demo.
MVP, MVC.
See? You set it up perfectly. So for people who missed it, again, Helen, of course, the kick-butt grandma, old lady.
The retired assassin, as I think what the trailer called her.
Yeah.
But she's got a lot of fun gadgets.
Yeah. So the character that we show, Helen, in the reveal, she's just a really great example of the types of characters that can exist. You know, we have somebody who's a little bit older, a little bit mobility challenged, but she still has really interesting skills she can bring to the table. So the character we saw there, she's been recruited, she's a hacker, she's really able to take advantage of the futuristic landscape of the city to turn it to her advantage. You saw the little spider bot she gets to use, so he has this adorable little techno monster that goes out into the environment and can take out her enemies and cover her. And we can see that literally anybody has something to contribute, even the people we would normally ignore and walk past when you're thinking about who's going to actually be part of a resistance and take the city back.
So talking about London specifically, because this is where this takes place, what was the reason behind choosing London? I know that there has technological advances that we've seen in other iterations of different video games, but why for Watch Dogs?
I mean, London, it's a city that's important to a lot of us on the team for different reasons. It's this cultural nexus for the world. I mean, for hundreds of years, London has influenced Western culture and society for good and for ill, and we see the future of London is showing us where the world itself can go right now. And for a game that is fundamentally about people and society and technology and how all these things come together and what can come of that, we couldn't have chosen a better place than London. So we wanted to make sure that when we built that city, we captured the range of influences and the diversity of people and locations in that city to really take advantage of that setting to do the most that we possibly could for Watch Dogs Legion.
I mean, what a great playground to have, too, because not only is it a gigantic city, but there are some really cool little neighborhoods and pockets and parks and things like that. Really iconic imagery for people to kind of gravitate towards.
Yeah, we really focus on the authenticity of the city. So it's more important for us to make sure that we evoke the different boroughs and the neighborhoods and the cultures that have defined those over the generations than it is to necessarily have a brick-for-brick recreation. So with that in mind, we've made sure that we've gotten a really wide range of the neighborhoods. We have Brixton, we have Brick Lane, we have Camden, but we have, Westminster as well. We have the embankment around the Thames, Battersea's Power Station. You're able to visit all of these places so that you're not just getting sort of a classic, maybe tourist's view of London. You're really getting to feel the texture of that city, and that texture is reflected in the people, because everyone that you find and everyone that you recruit, they're from those neighborhoods. They're influenced by that culture, and you're going to see that both visually on those characters, but when you profile them and you start investigating their lives and you get into that gameplay of building their support and recruiting them into DedSec.
Well, and you also get to add an extra level of what it seems to be customization as well. I mean, taking a look just at the basic gameplay trailers and things that we're seeing across the board, you've got the uniqueness from the cultural standpoint, but the actual playability mechanics, it seems that customization is a big factor.
Yeah, everybody brings something to the table with DedSec in terms of their background, and that influences their initial gameplay trait. But from that point on, you're going to customize that character. You're going to assign them a class. You're going to assign them different perks, which further differentiate their playstyle within the class. And then you give them additional loadout gear that they're going to use. So you're really able to tailor each of your characters depending on their class and the style that you want. So you have a nice, robust group of up to 20 operatives in London at any given time.
How many different classes are there? Are we going to have like a pretty wide range, or did you guys try to focus it down since there's just so many NPCs to choose from?
We have three main classes. There's a Enforcer class, an Infiltrator class, and then the Hacker class. That sort of sets the progression path for that character, but within those classes we have different builds, so it's really up to you. If you're, say, playing an Infiltrator who can use augmented reality to turn herself invisible, you can really say, okay, I'm going to focus on the stealth, and I'm going to give her a bunch of stealth perks, whereas maybe the next Infiltrator that you recruit, it's like, well, I'm going to make sure that he's really strong at melee. I'm going to give him a bunch of melee-oriented perks so he can go into a location and take out his enemies, more or less quietly and control the layout, whereas the other player the other Infiltrator may be sort of a ghost who nobody knows is even there.
Now, another functionality, and I know that there's not much you can speak up on it, but it does seem like co-op and actually playing with your friends is going to be a huge aspect. If you're calling it Legion, your friends need to get involved in that as well.
Yeah, online is a big part of the identity of Watch Dogs, and for us, what we want to make sure we do is we build an online experience which really takes advantage of the core systems that we're building with the game. You're going to be able to bring your operatives with you. You're going to be able to share with your friends and your community the vision of DedSec that you've created, whether it's all, retired women who are, moving around the city a little bit slower.
I just picture all Helens on a mission. It's just all old ladies just running towards, I don't know, Big Ben or something like that.
I can't wait to see the streams. It's going to be such a delight when the community gets their hands on this.
Well, my girls at What's Good Games got the opportunity to get some hands-on with this here at E3, and they tried to build an all-Helen team, as we see Helen on screen here. And they said that while she's really great, she's really slow.
Yes.
And so sometimes you do need to, diversify your Legion a little bit, because even though she's a super fun character, she is mobility challenged.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so you might want to have somebody who's a little bit younger and more spry in the mix as well.
Yeah, and that's I think that speaks to the message of the game. There's not a single person who can do this alone. You have to work together. You have to build a diverse team that can accomplish things. So when you're building that team, you're thinking about the different types of specialities that they're going to have. So you know when you need a bruiser. You know when you need somebody who can sneak in. You know when you need somebody who's a master of technology or drones. And you're going to be able to have that group of people who aren't the same, but they have the same goal, and they can work together and make the world a better place.
All right, we've had all sorts of conversation, of course, about what we can expect from Legion, but when can we expect to play Legion? What are we looking at for releases?
I'm super excited for March 6, 2020, when you're going to be able to get your hands on the game.
That's awesome. It's so close. I mean, I thought for sure that this game wouldn't be coming until maybe next fall, especially since you guys are doing so much graphically to kind of push these NPC animations and all of these different skill trees and these systems working together. It seems like under the hood, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot. There are a ton of different interconnected systems that we've built to try and maximize the range of characters that we can generate, how dynamic and robust their lives are. We have an amazing set of people working on it in Toronto and Montreal and Paris and Bucharest and Newcastle, Kiev. There's all these teams that are putting their efforts together, incredibly talented folks. So we really believe that we're up to the challenge, and March 6, 2020, we're super excited to give you the game then.
And I think it's safe to say that there's certainly a legion working on making sure that this game gets launched.
No joke.
And
No
is
joke.
ready to rock and go. Thank you so much, Joel, for coming and hanging
you.
out with us. We've got more interviews and more things in store on the Facebook gaming stage, guys. Don't go anywhere. E3, we'll be right back.